It's very important to understand where Zionism came from, what it means, and we have put in effort to educate and put together all this information. So if you go on the Toronto for Palestine Instagram page, on the link tree, there's a very important file that will explain and have this information about what Zionism is. Zionism 101.
Guys in the back truck over there. Hello! Hey! Tell them to stop the music there. Guys! Guys, hello! We're talking. We used to say and chant for our liberation, but we have to work towards our liberation. Chanting is not enough. So our first step towards liberation today is I want you to go on the Toronto for Palestine Instagram page. There is a link tree. When you click on the link tree, there is a folder, a PDF file I want you to download. And that file and folder, a PDF file, is called Zionism 101. We have to learn how Zionism works. We have to learn about their propaganda. So everyone, take a quick second to download the file. Toronto for Palestine Instagram page, there is a link tree. Click on the link tree and download the PDF file. It's called Zionism 101. We're gonna start with learning about Zionism so we could achieve our ultimate liberation. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free.
From the river to the sea,
Palestine will be free.
from the river to the sea.
Palestine will be free.
We have been gathering as one voice as we enter the 7th week, calling for an end to the genocide and war crimes in Palestine, calling for a ceasefire, calling for freedom from the Zionist occupation. The Zionist government in Israel has been spreading a false narrative throughout the world, confusing good, hardworking, tax-paying citizens throughout the world, scaring them into ignorant complicity in genocide. And we say no more!
No more!
It's time to see the roots of the false narrative, the propaganda and the lies. Only through an understanding of the ideologies that perpetuates anti-Palestinian racism and violence can we, citizens of the world, dismantle the structures that support Palestinian oppression. Only through understanding can we begin to ensure it never happens again to any people, anywhere. Zionism is driven by discriminatory right-wing nationalism. It is a racist political movement that claims people everywhere naturally hate Jews, and therefore that Jews have the right to create a land exclusively for themselves without regard for the people who are already living there. Without respect for Palestinian lives, without respect for Palestinian land, livelihood, history, or heritage. Shame. It is important to remember that 73% of all Israelis are Jews, and that not all Jewish Israelis are Zionists, wanting a Jewish state only. Zionist ideology weaponizes the Jewish identity by claiming an all-pervasive view of Judaism, by claiming all Jews are Zionists. Zionist ideology equates anti-Zionists with anti-Semitism. It then labels everyone who stands against the Zionist occupation, apartheid, and genocide of Palestinian people as anti-Semitic. This is a false narrative. An equally false narrative that anti-Semitism is the same as anti-Judaism. It's so entrenched that even highly educated people are unaware that the actual definition of a Semite is someone who speaks a Semitic language. This includes all people of the Middle East, Arabs and Jews. Zionist ideology chose to delete us from our race.
Watch out.
We must always keep Zionism and Judaism separate. In our words, in our minds, in our hearts. There are Jewish Zionists and there are non-Jewish Zionists. There are Jews standing here with us today and around the world calling for an end to settler colonialism, calling for an end to ethnic cleansing, and calling for a ceasefire now.
Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now!
We want to continue to educate you about the Zionism 101 dictionary and understand that these tactics are ones that they have used for many, many decades. Gaslighting 101 Zionist edition. There are many tactics. We have collected 10 tactics that the Zionist entity uses against Palestinians. Every week, we want to explain to you a different tactic, and today, I'd like to show you and tell you about the first tactic, which is calling us Hamas sympathizers. Calling us Hamas sympathizers. Silencing anyone who opposes genocide, occupation, and supports Palestinian rights to exist as Hamas sympathizers. This is false. This is a tactic that they use, and we say shame. Palestinians have the right to resist. Palestinians have the right to resist, because when people are occupied, resistance is justified. When people are occupied, when people are occupied, when people are occupied, when people are occupied,
Resistance is justified!
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 when people are occupied.
Resistance is justified!
I'm gonna ask everyone in the trucks right now to please try to pull back a little bit just to make sure that the folks here are safe. Okay, if you're not gonna back up, then everyone that's here, please stay behind the banner. لو سمحتوا يا جماعة, please stay behind the banner so we're all able to keep everyone safe. Thank you. We're almost wrapping up, folks. I know everyone is out in the cold. Everyone's throats are probably hurting. Yes, we're almost done, so please stick with us.
Zionism is not Judaism.
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 Zionism is not Judaism. All right, everyone, we're just gonna go through our last two speakers, or our last speaker actually, and then we're gonna be dispersing. I know we've been out here for a while. I know your feet is hurting,
We want to make sure that all of our perspectives of different aspects of the movement are represented. And our next speaker is a student speaker. Make some noise for our students. Omar Musa is a fourth-year student at the University of Toronto. He is a Palestinian activist and is constantly fighting for the Palestinian people's freedom. Everyone make some noise for Omar.
You guys probably hate me. Everyone is so cold. Everyone is complaining. Everyone thinks, why are we still here, right?
No!
I love that. You guys are amazing. Oh my gosh. So first off, hello! Assalamu alaikum! I am absolutely so honored and so ecstatic to see such a massive group of people with a shared mindset, with a shared collective belief against the disgusting things that are happening to our brothers and sisters across the world in Palestine. We stand united, bound by a shared commitment to confront this injustice. The colonist ideology that is Zionism and the apartheid regime that is Israel. The war crimes unfolding demand our attention. The crimes marked by death, torture, and wrapped in a web of deceit. I find that I'm often repeating myself by saying this phrase, and you guys have heard this many, many times already. But this is not a matter of religion. This is not a matter of politics. This is not a matter of business. This is simply a humanitarian crisis and a morality issue. For my speech, I apologize. I am going to be a little selfish. I will be shifting the focus to a more personal narrative. My name is Omar Musa, a proud Palestinian hailing from Jenin, in occupied Palestine in the West Bank. I was born in Dubai, and I later moved to Canada, going back to the Middle East and Qatar. Even though I have gone back and forth across the world, my roots still remain tethered to Palestine. I am tired of hearing the same response or questions that I receive every time I say I'm a Palestinian. Are you okay? Are you okay? And I'm so sorry. Are we okay? No! Whoa, we're not. But we are proud to be Palestinian. We are proud of who we are, of where we came from. I appreciate the kind-heartedness intended behind these statements. But of course, the answer is clear. We are proud. We have a lot to talk about, to yell about, to scream about, but we can never act out. God forbid we act out, because what will happen? All the cameras will turn to us, and the exact same thing will happen. The exact same thing will happen, and we will be labeled as the bad people. We will be labeled as the bad guys who don't support whatever, you know? So please, when I say I'm Palestinian, do not respond with "I'm so sorry," as if being Palestinian isn't my greatest pride, as if it won't be my children's greatest pride, as if it won't be their greatest pride after them. I will say this one more time, and for the rest of my life I will say it again, but for now I'll say it one more time. Ana Falastini, Dammi Falastini, I am Palestinian! I have family in Gaza, as I'm sure many of you do, even though I'm originally from Jenin. I got in contact with my cousin, Asir Faisal, so she could help me understand exactly what was happening, because obviously the news isn't the most reliable source anymore. So I wanted to get direct news from the ground. These are Asir's words, simply being conveyed by myself. Doctors at Al-Shifa Hospital have to drink medical solutions to quench their thirst. The Israeli government conducted digging and inspection operations and shot inside the Al-Shifa compound, transferring the bodies of the martyrs to unknown locations. There is a blockade of all necessary supplies, water, food, and medical into the compound. For shame! Shame! We demand the opening of the Rafah crossing to allow aid to flow and international pressure to liberate Al-Shifa compound from the Israeli army, removing its soldiers and tanks. The food that arrived isn't even enough for 40% of the people there. Shame! Children are suffering severe intestinal infections due to the lack of the clean water.